What is amazing to me, first of all, good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well. Stay blessed up. Hope Allah bless you richly, you and your loved ones. With that said, I was going in. I was just thinking, man. You know how you on your timeline or whatever platform you're on, and you have something to randomly come through your timeline. On my timeline yesterday, I believe it's Twitter, and yeah, man, it was like I guess it was Bobby Shmurda. You can put any other character. NBA YoungBoy, very popular artist. Bobby Shmurda. Shout out to Bobby Shmurda. Shout out to Rowdy Rebel. Um, Shout out to NBA YoungBoy. Shout out to Baton Rouge. Shout out to New York. But yeah, man, they was going back and forth. I guess something was misconstrued, said, or something like that. You know how that is when it gets to all these different channels, back channels. It's never told or was always taken out of context. And these two young men, Bobby Shmurda, he stated he was 28. As you know, if you don't know his backstory, he did a little bid in jail for about 6, 7 years or so. He even did some extra time so he can get his homie out, Rowdy Rebel, um, get him out released early. And then, Bobby eventually came home. I believe he's on paper. I believe he's on parole. Um, but yeah, I guess it was some type of thing going on with because Bobby was kind of, I don't know if he was responding to NBA YoungBoy or whatever. I don't know. But he was basically talking about, the part that I got. There was several clips. Uh, and I guess he was on IG or whatever. And, um, what kills me is always that these individuals always come on. I don't do that internet ish. I don't do this. I don't do that. I don't be on the internet going back and forth, but they on the internet stating that. So that's neither here nor there, but it's amazing, man, because I don't know what the beef is. Like, and it seemed like Bobby didn't know what the beef was. And then NBA YoungBoy really, I think he came out with the part that I seen where he was saying, "Man, I wasn't even, basically I wasn't even talking to you." I'm paraphrasing. I wasn't even talking to you. They got their own lingo, and I try to keep up with it. Just for the purposes of just keeping up with it. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to communicate with different people. So I got it. I get it a little bit. So it's not trying to stay young or whatever. It's just you move how you move out here, how you navigate. You got to be able to talk to people in whatever lingo they choose to talking or speaking, whatever dialect. So that's just me. That's just how I do it. But anyways, getting back to the subject, I guess NBA YoungBoy was kind of confused, or he was just kind of shocked, how Bobby was reacting, and then Bobby, was basically saying, don't. It was like the old Marlowe joint from The Wire. My name. You saying my name? I'm paraphrasing. You saying my name, and usually when people say my name, blah blah blah, woo woo woo, and I don't want to be misquoting people, so I ain't gonna say verbatim what he said, but it was like blah blah blah, woo woo woo. You saying my name? People normally people say my name. There's a in a nutshell, there's a penalty to pay on whatever level that your energy was, I guess. But yeah, it's funny though because Bobby, if he really want to, Bobby should go into comedy for real, man. And I ain't trying to say he a clown or nothing like that. Don't get it, effed up. I'm just saying Bobby is hilarious, bro. Hilarious. I mean, I got fixated on what both of them really was saying, but Bobby had me lying. I mean, he had me like he just had me rolling, bro. I mean, he had me crying, and I was like, just his facial expressions and his his emphasis on his point, on my on my grandmother. Wow, I'm gonna boom. Like I said, I ain't gonna go into all that, but Man, it was comical, bro. It was comical. But at the end of the day, man, let's hope that whatever that may have been brewing or people trying to brew it up. And then I see a lot of people trying to go back and forth about, about Bobby's clique and crew and NBA young boy. You know, you don't want to mess with NBA. You know, all that, man. Come on, fellas. Come on, people, man. Let's, we're not doing that. Let's not do that. Let's hope that, they can figure out, man, I ain't getting into all that. And that kind of seemed like at the end of the day with NBA YoungBoy was what Lane he was talking about. He was saying, man, stop, man, we ain't with the violence. We ain't doing that. We need to stop all that violence, basically. So let's hope it's taken in a tongue in cheek, so to speak, as much as it can get. Because you know how these things spin off. It can get ugly. So, but it was funny, man. It was funny if you haven't checked it out. I mean, it was entertaining, say the least. It was entertaining, but hey man, let cooler heads prevail, and let's not bubble this thing up to make it more than what it is. All right, you know what I mean? So whenever they, how they move is how they move. I'm sure it ain't gonna really jump out to be no big deal. I don't think it was any history of anything between them two as far as just being artists in hip hop. So as we as hip hop people, man, growing up in the culture, they like to use the word the culture. Um, we have to learn that everything ain't the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? So you can have a disagreement, you can have a lot of zeal to your disagreement, but it ain't got to go to the point where we just saw the situation what happened down in Houston. Um, Rest in peace to Takeoff, but you already saw that situation, man, and we gotta uplift each other, and we can still be critical of each other. We can still be critical and challenge each other without all the bravado being disrespectful. You understand what I'm saying? So I guess it always comes down to respect. At the end of the day, you have to be respectful, and you have to be able to listen. I think a lot of people do a lot of talking, but they don't listen. That's the key, listening. You know what I'm saying? Let that person get his bars off, and then you rebuttal if you have a rebuttal. But there's no need to just like I got to get the ones up on anybody. It's always like I got to get the last word. And sometimes you just like, you eat whatever you just let that bounce off of you and you keep it moving. So I just thought I'd come on here to share that and just a little bit of my thoughts. And I hope everyone is doing well. Blessings. And USA won. Congrats to the USA. Let's keep it going. Knockout round.